Roland Mumford with Mumford.law. I wanted to do a video discussing this arrest of Sean Paul Reyes. I believe I'm saying that name correctly. He is the auditor with the Long Island Auditor channel. And I've watched many of his videos, and I applaud what he does in the interest of free speech and protecting our constitutional rights. And he has a interesting relationship with a Connecticut Trooper employee or detective or sergeant, whatever position he holds. And I'm going to play a news video here to show the 30,000-foot view of what happened recently regarding his arrest, where Mr. Reyes went onto his property and the trooper comes out of his house with a gun and demands that Mr. Reyes leave the property, and actually comes up to his face and spits in his face, and he's holding the gun. This is an interesting question about whether this is appropriate or not. And I'm going to play this news video to give the quick story on it. And then afterwards, I'm going to play the video from Mr. Reyes's YouTube channel. A number of YouTube channels have been playing this, and it's been carried in the news, so I believe it's fair use. Let's take a look at this.
Arrest after a confrontation with a state police sergeant at his home in Groton. They say wrongfully. The video of it is all going viral online. Luke Hydash covers New London County, and he's your reporter live at Groton Police headquarters to explain. Luke.
Kara, these people are First Amendment auditors. They identify themselves as independent journalists, and they record their interactions with police and government employees all across the country and post them online. This particular auditor and this state police sergeant have a history. They've interacted before. He's done videos about him before, and this time the auditor went to the trooper's home here in Groton with questions about his overtime. Sean Reyes runs the YouTube channel Long Island Audit. Years ago, he had a run-in with State Police Sergeant Brian Fahey at headquarters. Friday, he drove an electronic billboard to the trooper's house in Groton. He knocks on the door. Fahey tells him to leave. As the auditor and his cameraman are walking back to the street, Fahey returns outside, gun in hand, and appears to spit in Reyes's face. Groton police respond and end up arresting Reyes and his photographer, charging them with breach of peace, voyeurism with malice, and criminal trespass for filming and going on the property. Here's some of that interaction and Reyes's reaction.
Get that gun out of your head. Property. Get that gun out of your head. I don't care who you are. 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 Right now, my face. You're going to jail now.
I went there to ask a question. I went there peacefully. I said that in the beginning before I even knocked on the door. That was my intention. I went there. Accountability does not stop at the station house door.
Reyes and others have questions about how the trooper conducted himself during this. State police tell us that they are not commenting on this, but they do say that Sergeant Fahey is still an active member of the department. He is not on leave, and he is not suspended. Your reporter live in Groton, Luke Hydash, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Okay.
All right, this is the video from Mr. Reyes's YouTube channel, the Long Island Audit channel, and we're going to do a play-by-play analysis of this.
What? Right now. You spit in my face. Get that gun out of your head. Connecticut State Trooper. I don't care who you are. Right now. You spit in my face. You're going to jail now. Look at this. Look at this. He spit in my face. You saw you're going to jail. It's all being recorded. I don't care. I know you don't care. You don't face any consequences. This is the biggest mistake you ever made. No, it's not. This is the biggest mistake you ever made. Look at the gun in his hand. He spit in my face. I want him arrested.
So we went through the assault statute, and there's nothing that specifically states that spitting on somebody is an assault.
So this is what this interaction came down to. One, the legality of Mr. Reyes stepping onto the property. Was that legal? First, I believe yes. News channels walk up to public figures' homes all the time. Legacy media, that happens all the time. Now, was this the right choice by Mr. Reyes? Absolutely not. I completely disagree. He had a contentious relationship with this Connecticut trooper. They had had a physical altercation before arrest. This trooper alleged that Mr. Reyes had a gun in his hand when he was in front of the Connecticut Trooper's headquarters. Actually, it was a cell phone. He lied and said that Mr. Reyes' cell phone he thought was a gun or a weapon, and pushed him through the front door out into the parking lot. And this Connecticut trooper is a lunatic, in my opinion. The other issue that's going to come about this is when the Connecticut trooper was coming out with holding that gun, there's a very good argument that that could have been considered aggravated assault, because Mr. Reyes was a good 100 or 200 feet from the house. And then the Connecticut trooper comes out of the home. I think his name is Tahiem or something like that. And he goes all the way up to Mr. Reyes, holding the gun down, pointing towards the ground. And I can tell you right now, having done aggravated assault criminal defense cases, I've seen people arrested just for merely presenting a gun. So that's the question there. But he may have a defense that he was on his property. But he knew Mr. Reyes was not armed. He didn't present a danger. He was walking away from the home. And this trooper closed the distance. But what this video is going to eventually come about is Mr. Reyes wants the trooper arrested. But he wants him arrested for spitting in his face. He clearly does that on video. And what the local police here are trying to say is that within the assault statute in Connecticut, that spitting on somebody is not considered assault and battery because it doesn't cause bodily harm. But yet there is a statute that says if you spit on a police officer, that would be assault. I think that is absolutely absurd to say that spitting on somebody, which could be a communicable disease going from one person to another, I'm not saying that happened here, but that absolutely has to be considered assault and battery.
Around for me.
Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. This is ridiculous. Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. We are currently...
As you see here in the video, Mr. Reyes, and I love his videos, he's a true free speech champion. He drives around with this video billboard, and he parks on the cul-de-sac of where this trooper lives, and he also goes in front of other government officials there in Connecticut in front of their home, and he embarrasses them. But he's on a street, it's a public street, he can do it, he drives around town, and local police have been trying to give him hell for it, but he's been able to do it legally. He wins all the time in court. On his false arrest charges, he wins in court. He beats the police.
An undisclosed affluent location here in the state of Connecticut, Corrupticut. We are here today, as you can see, to peacefully exercise our First Amendment right to protest and resist tyranny, and also to investigate allegations of corruption that has been made against Connecticut State Trooper Sergeant Brian Fahey. As you can see behind me, Sergeant Brian Fahey is no stranger to tyranny and corruption. Let's get...
So Mr. Reyes received a tip from probably somebody within the trooper's office, because I don't know who else could have gotten the information, that this trooper allegedly may be cooking the books. He sits at a desk and does apparently gun permit applications or something along those lines. So how could he be doing $80,000 a year worth of overtime, and he makes an approximate salary of somewhere between $180,000 and $200,000 a year?
Into it. Now, as far as the allegations being made against Sergeant Brian Fahey, I was told through an anonymous tip that he is receiving fraudulent overtime every single year. Now, that was strange to me because Sergeant Brian Fahey, as we know, is the sergeant of pistol permits in an office. How does he receive overtime to begin with? Isn't it a 9-to-5 job? So I did some investigating, and Sergeant Brian Fahey makes over $200,000 a year. Now, get this. $75,000 of that $212,000, to be exact, comes from overtime. $75,000. How can this be? Does he stay late when they're closed after 5 o'clock? Does he go back on the streets to patrol? I mean, I was told by my sources that he was kicked out of patrol and he's a danger to the community. That's why they have him working in the office. But to get $75,000 in overtime every single year from a desk job, it didn't add up. And that's why I came here to Sergeant Brian Fahey's neighborhood to protest his tyranny and corruption, the lack of accountability, but also, as any good independent journalist would, to ask questions about this overtime allegation. So as always, you always want to be on the lookout for...
He's been standing on a cul-de-sac, and he had the truck there on the cul-de-sac, and I don't have a problem with that. But when he comes onto this trooper's property, again, it's not technically illegal, so I want to be clear about that. And again, I commend Mr. Reyes as an auditor. I've watched this channel for more than a year. I enjoy what he does. But given the contentious relationship, which not just physical, literally physical, false arrest charges, false charges, the trooper on to Mr. Reyes, it is, he should not be going on to the trooper's property. I believe he's instigating this, but that does not mean what he did is illegal. And it doesn't justify the actions of the trooper following him back towards the cul-de-sac, holding a gun, spitting in his face, and then getting all up into his face.
No trespassing signs, restricted area signs. I don't see why there would be in this neighborhood here, but, you know, we just want to ask some questions, see what's going on with this overtime allegation. Hopefully he answers us. It says here, the Faheys, looks like we're in the right spot. Again,
excuse me, Fahey.
There aren't any trespassing signs. We're just
pronounced as
coming in peace to ask some questions. Oh, I'm currently being recorded, his Ring camera said. Hey, Sergeant Fahey, how are you? Nope, there is no posted sign. There's no problem. Do you have any?
So, Mr. Reyes brings up the argument, which may be legally correct, that there was no trespassing sign on a property. And maybe that's the distinction between whether he was trespassing or not trespassing onto Mr. Fahey's property. Now here, he's receiving the verbal instruction to step off the property, and that's very, very important. And he abides by that instruction.
Let's go. Do you have any comments on the allegations?
Now you see he's walking backwards.
I am
he has
moving.
the second camera.
Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are receiving?
Walking away from the property.
Couldn't even get the question out. Ladies and gentlemen, he was so angry. Couldn't even get the question out. He says that there's no trespassing sign.
And right here, this should have been the end of it. He was walking off the property. He's going to the cul-de-sac. But then Mr. Fahey, the trooper, starts to come out of the house. And I believe that's when he becomes the guilty party.
Let's see. Let's see if there's no trespassing signs. What a coward. He can assault me in broad daylight while receiving taxpayer money. But the minute an independent journalist comes to his home, and he's probably going to try and get me unlawfully arrested now. As you could see, I moved back his camera that says you are currently being recorded.
Now comes out the lunatic.
Film this guy. You're crazy. What are you doing, psycho?
And Mr. Reyes.
You have a weapon in your hand? What are you doing? What?
Continues to walk backwards, and Mr. Fahey is holding that gun, and he's holding it pointed downwards. And he's probably knowing because that if he raises it and points it towards Fayez, he's definitely going to be charged with aggravated assault or some other similar charge that they have in Connecticut for presenting a weapon to somebody that would cause a reasonable person to fear for their safety. He should not have brought that weapon out. There was no reason for that.
Are you doing? I don't have any weapons. I'm a journalist. What do you think I'm doing, you psychopath? What do you think I'm doing?
Get off my property right now.
What do you think?
Get off my.
Right here, it wasn't necessary to get all up into Mr. Reyes's face. Look how he closes the distance. Mr. Fahey here now is an equally or more guilty party, in my opinion, whether legally or just in the sense of moral turpitude.
Property right now.
I'm off your property.
This is my property.
Well, do you see me not moving?
To the cul-de-sac.
Calm down.
Get off my fucking property.
Get that gun out of your hand,
Get off my fucking property.
Get that gun out of your hand, psycho.
Connecticut State Trooper.
I don't care who you are.
Trespassing.
I don't care who you are.
Fucking property.
And right there is that arrogance that you see from so many cops. I am a Connecticut State Trooper. Who are you to challenge me? And that's that arrogance that you see in law enforcement with many officers. Not all, but many.
Who you
Get
are.
off my fucking property.
I don't care who you are.
Right now.
You spit in my face.
Property
You're
right
going
now.
to jail now.
Get
Look
off
at
my
this.
Spit in his
Look
face.
at this. He spit in my
Get off
face.
my-
You're
right
going
in
to
my
jail.
face. I'm spitting As I'm talking to you.
No, you spit in my face.
Property.
You spit in my face.
Now.
You spit in my face.
Get off my property.
You're going to jail.
Now.
I'm going.
Get off my property.
I've been going.
Right.
Since the
Now.
morning.
Get off my
That's
property.
criminal trespass works. Psycho.
Get off my property. Right
Look at the
now.
gun in his hand. That's crazy.
I'm a Connecticut State Trooper.
I don't give a shit who you
are
are.
trespassing on my property.
That doesn't matter. You can't break the law. I didn't.
You threatened to kill me online.
Right. No,
Get off my
not.
fucking
You're a
property.
lie.
Right there, he tells the lie that Reyes had threatened to kill him. Now, throughout this video, Fahey makes it sound like Reyes had threatened to kill him during this video, which clearly that never happened. But then it sounded like he said something there that Reyes had threatened him online. Maybe I misunderstood that. That's what it sounded like. But there's no evidence whatsoever that Mr. Reyes threatened him in any way whatsoever, at least that I've seen online or anywhere.
Right
You
now.
are a liar.
Right now.
Look, see the big
Get off
beautiful
my
billboard
property.
truck? It's all being recorded.
I don't care.
It's all being. I
Get
know
off
you don't
my
care.
property.
You don't face any
Right
consequences.
Get off
You don't
my
face any
property
consequences.
right now.
First, in my face.
Mistake ever
No,
made.
no, it's not.
This
It's
is
the
the
biggest
biggest
mistake
mistake
you
you
ever
ever
made.
made.
No,
Get
it's
off
not.
my property right now.
It's not the biggest mistake.
Get
I've
off
ever
my
made.
property right
It's
now.
not the biggest mistake.
It's like you are spit in my face.
Disgusting.
Your face.
You disgusting.
I'm spitting you at you.
Yeah.
I am yelling at you to get off my
Yeah.
property.
Look at this trooper. I mean, this is a man that is in law enforcement that's allowed to walk around with a gun. Look at his face. I can understand being upset that this man, Mr. Reyes, came onto his property, but to come out with this disposition, this is, I think Mr. Reyes was right calling him a psychopath. That's just an opinion. Repeating what Mr. Reyes said. But this gentleman definitely has some issues with anger management and temperament.
Right. Get off. I'm off your property. Now what? Now what? Look at the gun in his hand. I don't care.
You threatened to kill me
No,
online.
I did not.
I'm protecting myself
No,
and my
I didn't.
family.
No, I did
Go
not.
fucking come back to my house again.
I'll stand right here with my billboard check.
Go right
No
ahead.
problem.
I don't
Spit
care.
in my face, you're going to jail.
Come back to
You're going
my
to jail.
house
You're
again.
going to jail.
Don't ever come back to my house again.
To assault people and break people's property, but I can't ask questions about your overtime, about your overtime, $75,000
More than
for a
that,
desk
buddy.
job.
More than that.
Right? More than that. I'm gotta go. What a crazy psychopath!
I agree. That's my
He
opinion.
spit in my face.
Regardless of any excuse,
No, I'm an independent journalist. Get it right, buddy.
Mr.
Get
Fahey,
it right. I never threatened him. He said I threatened to kill him.
his face like that and getting up all into his face like that, he could have maintained
Ooh, I knocked on your front door. I'll get that 911 call too, buddy.
Reyes off the property. No reason to get into his face like that.
Look at this guy. I'm a Connecticut State Trooper. Come help me from the camera. Come help me from the guy asking me questions, please, before I shoot him. And I did. And I did. No, you spit in my face and you're going to jail. And you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You spit in my face and you're going to, it's all right here, buddy. Right here. It's all right here. It's all right here, buddy. Look at these guys. Look. Look. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not doing anything. He just spit in my face.
Get over here.
Whoa, I didn't break any laws.
In a second, okay?
For what? I haven't broken the law. No, but do you have reasonable articulable suspicion I committed a crime? What? What is it? What is it? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm a journalist. I knocked on the door and asked questions. No, I have no weapons on me. We have a camera of mass destruction. I'm putting my camera down.
Move. Don't move until I get backup units. You can put it away.
What's your name?
Officer Romansky, it says right here. Nope, just stay right
He
here.
pulled out a gun on me for knocking on the door.
No, you're on his property.
I'm allowed to go on his property and knock on the door. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
You got to learn the law, man.
No.
I'm a journalist. No, you got to learn the law.
Okay. Let's just back
I'm
up.
allowed to ask questions.
Sure.
Now you hear the officer say that Mr. Reyes needs to learn the law. And we see that throughout 1983 litigation cases. I, as an attorney, and just as you and I that enjoy these types of videos online, these officers always demonstrate they think they know more about the law than the auditor doing the video or just a regular citizen. when they get very limited training in constitutional law or even general statutes. They don't really know the law as well as they think they do. How many walks of shame have we seen in videos online?
I am.
So let me tell you why we're here.
What's wrong with you? I'm not doing anything. I have no weapon.
I assure you, Mr. Reyes knows these laws much better than these officers.
On me. I have nothing. You couldn't stop. He has the weapon.
Okay. Now let me explain something to you.
I'll make sure he explains. Yeah, no weapons. He has the weapon.
Okay. So here's the deal. So here's the disconnect here. Here's the difference. So we get a call from him. He calls 911. Hold on.
I'm not going to speak. I'm letting you speak.
Okay. When you call 911 and say you're...
I'm going to record, okay?
Now, the officer was correct here on the scene when Mr. Reyes was more over closer to the driveway. Anytime that you're going to have an officer come on scene and you have two parties that have some kind of conflict, the officers are going to separate them, and that just makes sense. So here I think the officer was correct to ask Mr. Reyes to go further away from the driveway, go over by his truck, and then Mr. Fahey may have been further back into the driveway or may have been back at the house. I can't tell from this video, but I think he was correct in doing that.
We come code through, like my lights on.
You wouldn't do this for a citizen.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't. You're doing it because he's a state trooper.
No,
That's why. You're doing it because he's a state trooper.
for citizens.
Now, Mr. Reyes here is alleging that this officer is acting more positive or supporting the trooper, which may be the case, but the officer there is denying that. But we all know that cops support each other, that thin blue line.
Okay.
Not like this.
Yes, 100% all the time. We think there's an active disturbance, then we respond code 3, which means lights and sirens, and we're in an emergency response.
Do you see the spit on my face?
I don't.
You don't see the spit on my face? Well, I have it on camera. He spit in my face. I want him arrested. He spit in my face.
There's a number of channels that are kind of doing the same thing that I've been doing. Go check them out, because it's interesting to get different perspectives and analysis and opinions from different commentators.
All right.
On camera.
Okay.
I want you to lock him up. He spit in my face. You understand that? If I spit in your face, what would happen to me?
Okay. Here. Let's just.
I knocked on a door and he spit in my face. You can't do that.
I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. Just take steps.
There's spit all over. I'm going to go get DNA test on his spit so you can see it.
What you got to do? Let's find out what happened. The whole story.
All right. I'm going to tell you really quick what happened, okay?
Oh, tell me.
Okay.
I think this officer, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think he's acting cool here. He's keeping calm and collective. And he also knows he's probably going to end up on a YouTube channel. So he wants to act in a manner where he's not going to look very bad. But I think he does a pretty good job here so far.
Sure. I'm an independent journalist. I'm here peacefully protesting. This man, as you can see from the video footage right here.
One thing I noticed there, he said that he was also recording and he has a body cam. But look where that body cam is. It's down on his stomach to the right, if you're from his direction. And then look how he places his arm on top of that body cam, which is going to affect or obstruct the field of view. I just had this happened in a case in Arkansas where we just filed a federal lawsuit in Western Arkansas against the trooper, and he was wearing that body cam just like this. Now, fortunately, we did have a pretty good field of view, but that should be up on his chest, so that way everything is level, where when two people are obviously standing and speaking, that you have that field of view.
Assaulted me, stole my camera from me. He was never held accountable. I got a tip as an independent journalist that he is
now you're going to hit
cooking the books when it comes to his overtime. I did some research. He gets $75,000 of overtime a year, and he's a desk sergeant. So I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to follow up on it. I went up here. There's no trespassing signs. I'm very familiar with the law. There aren't any no trespassing signs or anything like that. I went up, knocked on the door. He answered the door. I said, "Do you have any comment?" He said, "Get off my property." I immediately started, and his camera will show that. Because I know the law.
I think that's an interesting question that I want to look up myself. Is that in Connecticut or in most states, does the no trespassing sign automatically, well, obviously it puts you on notice not to trespass, but it is a legal distinction where you're entitled to first have the warning before being arrested for a trespass if that sign constitutes as that first formal notice under the law. That's an interesting question.
Don't break the law, sir. I immediately started backing up while continuing to ask him questions. He went back inside, closed the door, would have been the end of it. He came back out with his gun in his hand, got inches from my face. No, I would say less than inches from my face.
And as I said there, if he had just closed the door, that would have been the end of it, and Reyes would have walked off the property. And that's a very good point.
Real up to my face and spit in my face. It's all over my face right here. All this wet is not sweat. He spit in my face as I'm leaving his property, as he asked me to do. Hey, can I just get your name and badge number, ma'am? Thank you. I appreciate it. I just want to know everybody that.
Remember, always, anytime you have an interaction with police, get that cell phone out, start recording, live streaming if there's a way to record it to the cloud, but always ask for the officers' names and get their badge number. And if they refuse to provide it, which they're supposed to do according to policy, try to get that last name into the camera view or a badge number or something. Always, because you want to know who it is you're going to be filing a lawsuit against or filing complaints against, or who's going to be the subject of your open records requests.
Here, that's all.
Yeah, I'm Romansky. That's Grion. My sergeant right there. His name is Sergeant Bedard. You can talk with
He knows me. I know him. He knows I'm not a threat to him. I'm asking him questions. No, he knows that.
Okay, I got you. But if somebody came onto your property
And asked a question?
well, so if somebody came onto my property and I didn't know them, then I would be a little upset about it.
And that's a good
And I
point.
don't
So do you get mad? Do you get mad at a Jehovah Witness?
I would. Well, no.
Do you pull out a gun on a Jehovah Witness?
Say no, thank you. Please do.
Right.
Right.
And they leave.
Now, Mr. Reyes, in fairness, sir, you're not a Jehovah's Witness. You're not going door to door selling roofing. You know this trooper. You have a contentious history and relationship with him, and you knew this was going to rise to this level most likely. Again, I say that most respectfully. I very much appreciate what you do. You're a champion. I've been a supporter and a viewer for a very long time, but I just think it was not wise to step onto this property, and I state that with absolute respect.
Did
Do you pull out your gun? Yes. And do you pull out your gun and spit in their face
Sounds like you're trying to question
as I'm leaving?
as you're leaving.
Right. You can do two things at the same time, officer.
You'll
You can do two things at the same
do
time.
whatever you want. But if somebody came onto my property and asked them to leave, and it sounds like you weren't leaving.
No. This is why I have multiple cameras. He has a camera. But you weren't here. You're missing the point.
Okay,
You're missing the point.
Do you want to show me the footage?
I can show you the footage, but wait, I can show you the footage. Go ahead. Actually, you know what? We'll see what he says, because I want him to write a report and be a liar and then go to jail for that too. He spit in my face. Do you want?
Now, this was very smart on Mr. Reyes' part here. This is something I very often have done as an attorney in my cases. You want to try to set the person up to lie in a statement to the officers, because that would be a felony, false reporting. Get them to make a statement first before you show your proof of the video, because these officers will go to the other person and say, hey, this is what we saw in the video. They'll repeat the narrative of what they saw in the video, and then the other person will conform their narrative or response to what the officer said. We want to try to trap the other person and set them up for possible lying. Absolutely, you want to do that. If you look at my introductory video, when I said, why do police officers, or why did they harass me into civil rights litigation, in that one instance with that officer that threatened to arrest me because I was walked into that room by another officer, and that guy said that didn't happen. I wanted to see if we could set him up at a preliminary hearing if I had been arrested, where we could catch him lying under oath. Obviously, I was never arrested. The other officer knew that I was there completely legitimately in the room at the police department with my client. It was a bunch of BS. But go watch that video. It's just pure harassment by local police officers here, because we had sued the local police department.
Understand that?
Yes, sir.
What if somebody spit in your face? Do you understand? Right. He spit in my face.
Do you understand? I wouldn't want somebody on my property either.
I can ask, well, I cannot have every right to go to his property and ask a question.
Okay.
He doesn't have a right to spit in my mouth, in my face, or
and I began to leave immediately.
Just immediately just jumped.
He went back inside, got his gun. He's on the phone with 911 saying, I have a gun. As him and I are backing up, he gets in my face all the way down this driveway here, tell me, get off my property, get off my property. That I threatened to kill him. I've never threatened to kill him. He's a liar, and it's all on camera, so don't make any false statements, you liar.
Now, what would be very interesting here is I would love to know if Mr. Fahey tells these officers back on his property when they're speaking, if he repeated that statement that Reyes had threatened to kill him, because then that would be, I'm assuming that making a false statement to an officer, if it's not a felony, it's a high-level misdemeanor. I would really love to know about that.
He's lied before on camera. He's lied before in internal affairs reports. He has said that he thought my camera was a firearm. He has said ridiculous things in internal.
That statement there by Mr. Reyes where he's talking about where Fahey thought at an interaction that they had at the Troopers headquarters there in Connecticut, Mr. Fahey comes through the glass door and literally pushes Reyes through the door out into the parking lot, almost in the exact same manner as he does right here on the property. He gets up into your face and sort of chest bumps you and pushes you out. And he tried to say that Mr. Reyes' phone was a firearm. The most ludicrous thing somebody could say. And if somebody is saying something as crazy as that, how is he allowed to be a police officer and carry a gun and be certified as an officer and and continue to work? Just insane.
Affairs reports. I'm a journalist. I have every right to knock on anybody's door I want. The minute that they ask me to leave, I leave. That's it. I have every right, and I did leave.
You told me you were trying to ask him questions when he told you to leave.
As I'm leaving. Did you miss that part?
Well, no, actually, I want to see.
I will show you. Ready? I will show you. Hey, do you have any comments on this and that? That's what happened.
You won't show me.
I want to see what he says first. I want to see what he says first.
Very smart by Mr. Reyes there.
I want to see what he says, and then you can look at it. I'll let you look at it, but I want to see what he says, because then he's a liar.
We're going to go from there. If you can't
No, nothing, man. We're not giving any of that.
Yeah,
he knows who I am. No, you have no reasonable, articulable suspicion I've committed a crime. You have nothing. You have nothing.
I do, actually.
No, you don't. What's your reasonable, disturbance? You better learn the law, man. I'm telling you right now, you better.
Right now, I think that this officer does have reasonable articulable suspicion based upon a call from Fahey about allegations of what occurred on the property. Now remember, it is suspicion of a crime being committed. He doesn't know exactly everything that has happened, but based upon a narrative of what somebody's communicating on a phone, under the law, I believe this officer does have reasonable articulable suspicion in this moment. That's just my legal opinion. Mr. Reyes obviously has a different opinion. But again, it's dependent on, but his suspicion is based upon the narrative provided by Mr. Fahey and what he has heard. And obviously now as he gets more information, then that may or may not justify whether he continues in the manner of which he investigates the matter. But I do, reasonable articulable suspicion is literally a half inch off the ground. It is very little to overcome, to step over. It's very easy for an officer to have it. In this situation, I certainly think he has it.
Learn the law.
The other way around.
No. Reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. You see this spit right here? That's reasonable, articulable suspicion. He committed a crime.
Okay, so if the crime's against you, I still need your ID.
Okay, we'll see about that. And I'll give it to you
You
then.
can talk to myself, Ben.
Sergeant, how you doing? My name is Sean. Nice to meet you, sir.
How you doing? I'm Todd.
He's just a camera guy. He's just recording.
I also commend this officer, how he keeps his cool. He acts professional, in my opinion. Now, this is, again, maybe it's for the camera, and they certainly nailed Reyes when he goes to jail here later. It was first, I think, like a $10,000 bond or several $1,000 bond, and they jacked it up to like a $70,000 or $75,000 bond. And then at first, the other camera guy, the young man, was just going to be released on his own recognizance, and then it ended up giving him, I think it was a $50,000 bond, something absolutely crazy. And then they started charging him, Reyes, with one of the crazy charges was voyeurism, I think breach of the peace, and one of the others. But we can talk about that. They absolutely loaded up on him, but he ended up bonding out after about 5 hours. the powers to be, the politicians there, were certainly taking advantage of this opportunity to get at Reyes. But increasing the bond exponentially like that, you may be able to argue, I'm not sure if that would be malicious prosecution, but it could possibly be, but definitely that's out of line.
I appreciate that, Sergeant. Sergeant, I'm an independent journalist. I'm an activist. This is Sergeant Brian Fahey here. As you can see, he's assaulted me, taken my camera multiple times. Right. He's a Connecticut State Trooper. He's a sergeant for the Connecticut State Trooper. He works in pistol permits.
Okay.
I got a tip that somebody said that he is currently cooking the books when it comes to overtime. So I wanted to get his side of the story, see why does he have $75,000 of overtime as a desk sergeant? Why does he have that? It just seemed, I saw it online and I was like, let me go ask him. And at the same time, protest with my billboard truck here. I go up to his door, knock on the door. He opens it up. I start asking him questions. He says, you're on my property, leave. I know the law. I immediately started backing up and getting off of his property while asking him questions still. Yeah, right up the road. He says there's a no trespassing sign. Okay. That sign just says private road. It doesn't say no trespassing. Again, I was on the lookout. It's all recorded for any signage.
A pretty young officer there on the right.
You guys are with Groton Police.
That's something one of the other.
Wow.
Yep, Groton Town Police. There's 3 different ones.
Listen, and if I'm coming out a little loud or something, that's not how I operate. It's just
We're having a conversation.
okay. All right. Listen, man, because at the end of the day, he came back. He went back inside his house as I'm leaving his property, which will clearly be seen on video. As I'm leaving the property, it's a long walk, so I'm walking backwards, making sure this man has assaulted me. Look at him. He has assaulted me multiple times. So if anything, he's the danger to me, but I was just wanted to ask questions. I'm not scared of him. So at the end of the day, he's in my face. I'm not going to do it, but he's in my face, inches from my face. And he goes and he spits in my face. All of this is his DNA. He spit in my face and I still didn't do anything because he has a gun in his hand. And I left the property. And then you guys arrived immediately, lights and sirens, and I'm trying to explain.
You're happy.
I understand. It's all recorded, though.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it.
That'd be great. Obviously, you're recording right now, so I understand you can't. You probably don't want to like pause.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But what we can do is we can send you a link through our Axon camera system. You can actually upload the whole video to us because it's evidence, obviously.
No, it's SEAN. I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah, but it captured.
No, I'm saying he said SHAWN. It's SEAN.
Oh, I wasn't. I was trying to.
Sorry. Go ahead.
But basically, if you have information that would either, make him at fault, or
but I want you to collect this evidence here of his spit on my mouth. This is all his spit on my mouth.
Actually, all I see at the moment is just sweat.
But I'm telling you, I feel his spit on my mouth. He is a disgusting, vile human being, and he spit in my face, Sergeant. Do you understand? And it's on video of him doing that. And it's on this video here. It's on video of him spitting in my mouth. I'm talking at the same time. He spit in my mouth.
Maybe like pause one of these so that we can watch that, and then
Pretty livid. I'll make it on time.
if that's what you would like to do.
Here, hold this for me. Just keep it on then, please.
You already did it?
Nope.
Oh.
He just spit in my face. I want him away. He's in my mouth. Okay, you understand? Like, yeah, listen, this is bad.
Yeah, I don't see it anyway, but I can see it. So I do agree that you're backing up, but can he just agree? So I agree that you're backing up and retreating off this property, right? Can we agree that we've kind of figured that some kind of response similar to this would be elicited by you showing up at this, you know what I mean?
I thought he would just close the door.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to talk.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the same person?
So I really want to get your responses in the comments. I really would like to know what you think about Mr. Reyes going onto this property. And the officer, I think, correctly brings up that, well, you knew coming on this property it was going to instigate or provoke some kind of response. The thing is that Mr. Fahey's response was above and beyond and just crazy. And I think there's a good point that he brings up where Reyes was walking backwards and still engaging Mr. Fahey, though Mr. Fahey was closing the distance and getting into his face. Should Mr. Reyes have just walked straight forward off of the property? Maybe so.
If somebody I didn't particularly care for came to my house, I would say, get off my property, close the door. I wouldn't come out and get in their face and walk them out with a gun and spit in their face. So can we understand that I didn't break any laws and he's the one that broke the law? Like, I just don't like this kind of like cop splaining thing where it's like, you know, you don't understand. You're blaming the victim. It's like, oh, you wanted this. It's like, dude, somebody's got to be a help journalist. That's crazy, man. Like, and I have no problem showing you.
So he uses a phrase there, cop-splaining, and that's where when officers are caught in acts of misconduct, they will come up with these crazy explanations, almost step by step. He did this and I was doing this. Or it would be like if an officer threw a guy down to the ground and then the officer would say, oh, I was just assisting him lay on the ground. I was concerned about his safety. I mean, I've heard some crazy things. That's what he means by cop-splaining.
The video, because I know the law. I don't break the law. I follow the law. I exercise my right. I have every right to go knock on somebody's door. There's no order of protection involved. There's nothing there. And he told me to leave, and I immediately left. That's it.
So is there...
At the end of all this, it results in his arrest. He goes to jail. He bonds out, but then there's order of protection for him not to come back to the property anywhere near it, to come around Fahey or go to the Connecticut State Troopers headquarters, which if you watch and follow the Long Island Audit channel, you'll see there's a number of videos. And one of my that's favorite is that Mr. Reyes, I think, tries to bring his video truck there or some kind of large vehicle, and they say that he can't park it at the entrance, that vehicles like that. And then he brings up the brilliant point, well, what about that taco truck that was here at lunch? I just loved it.
Order of protection, do we know that?
I don't know that.
Okay, so we just have to check on that.
If you don't follow or you're not familiar with Long Island Audit channel, please go
He's not bringing it.
Reyes does a great job. He's really the champion.
No, I mean,
Goal, I hope.
And what your intention of coming here was to...
As a journalist, I'm a journalist. I investigate corruption and tyranny within law enforcement.
I don't know that you're a journalist. Did you identify yourself as a journalist?
We've had multiple interactions with reporting. This is up Connecticut State Police headquarters over here.
So the officer's asking Reyes here if Mr. Fahey knows he's a journalist or knows who he is. And maybe this officer is not familiar with the previous interactions of the two. It looks like he sincerely doesn't know the way that he's observing the video billboard and taking in the information. But it's hilarious. Yes, Fahey knows who he is, to say the least, and what Reyes does.
We've had multiple interactions where, again, I'm not doing anything and he is assaulting. I'm trying to get into state police here. He wouldn't let me in. He closes it on my... And then look,
recently?
This happened about a year ago.
Okay.
And then security camera put it, takes my phone from me, violating my First Amendment right. But again, this has been going on. But I'm not saying I'm scared of it. I wouldn't be here if I was scared of it. I'm not saying I'm in fear for my life or anything. I'm saying that I came here as a journalist to follow up on a tip that I got that he is cooking the books when it comes to overtime. And my problem is he spit in my mouth and in my face. That is a problem to me. I don't know what diseases he's got. He could be mad all he wants. I don't blame him for being mad. He doesn't like me. I don't like him.
At least we can agree on that.
Yeah. Well, you could be mad, but you can't break the law, sir. You can be mad, but you cannot break the law.
I understand.
That really is the synopsis or the thesis of this entire video that Reyes raises here. And that's it. He knew that Fahey was going to be upset about seeing him on the property. And he knew there was going to be a reaction. But he's making the fair point that it doesn't justify how Fahey goes above and beyond by coming out of the home, closing the distance, having the gun, spitting in his face, getting into his face. That's a good point. He cannot break the law in his overreaction for Reyes coming onto his property. That is what this is entirely about.
Be mad all you want. Rent a billboard truck and put it in front of my house. I don't really care. But you can't break the law. You can't spit in another man's mouth. You know how badly I wanted to defend myself? That is bodily injury. I don't know what type of diseases that. Okay, and I'm sure you did something about it, right?
He's got to stay as the empathetic figure.
Right, but I couldn't because he's holding your gun like this coward that he is.
Went on to
Hey, if I have one of my officers send you a link, can you send us that video so we can upload it? Thank you. Bye.
I'm not wiping my mouth, so I don't care if I'll take it. I'll go and take a DNA sample or something.
The sergeant, so we're both sergeants.
Can you imagine somebody spitting in your face like that, and you want to keep the evidence, and that spit may be in your mouth or on your lip, and you're gonna not drink something to wash it out? And that's pretty disgusting.
He has a sergeant's paper, like photograph, like I said. I see.
You don't have like a swab you could swab and get his nasty, filthy DNA from my face.
No, I'd recommend if you want medical attention to get tested, we can.
Yeah, call. Yeah, call.
Okay, and you want to get transported to the hospital?
No, I want you to just call ambulance, please.
So I'm going to tell you this now for other, I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but he does want you formally trespass from the property. So he's going to provide a statement that says you're formally trespass. So you are not, from this point on, not allowed to go on this property. If you do.
Mr. Reyes here is going to be
All right, I don't break the law, sir.
I'm just letting you know what's going on.
Okay.
From where I'm at.
What's going on with it? What's going on with arresting him for spitting in my mouth?
When you talk to our sergeants about all that stuff, they're going to make their.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's kind of like I mean, you know about other things.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
So as his private property, he's allowed to trespass anybody he wants. You are formally trespassed.
Great.
So if you do go back on his property from now on, you can't be arrested.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you know. So you've been advised.
Okay. Great.
Just get that statement.
I don't plan to. How you doing today, sir?
It looks like getting
Not too good, man. When another grown man spits in your face, it's kind of like, oh. Yeah. Yeah, basically drive around, protest, bad cops, man. He's a bad cop. I mean, I'm not asking you to, opine on it, but I'm just saying the video speaks for itself. He's a bad cop. He likes to put his hands on people and take people's cameras and allegedly cook his books when it comes to overtime. And I was just asking a question about that. That's all I came here to do. And protest, of course. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The amount of police
officers here.
Hey, Sarge, do you have any updates?
So I just talked to him.
Responding to a police officer.
What's going on with because I didn't talk to him at all.
Like a lot of stuff.
Got little bits and pieces of his so that we have his video evidence as
Let me know
well.
in the comments.
Have we gotten evaluated by these guys yet?
They said that there's really nothing they could do for me, so I'm just gonna go get tested at the hospital or something. I'll figure it out.
Okay, do you want to get transported?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
You're good with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need a little bit of information from you when you get a moment.
And I love this big guy, this EMT. I think he knows who Reyes is, or if he doesn't, he's kind of sympathetic for Reyes. I love this. Watch this. He supports Reyes.
Sure.
Is there anything else we can do for you?
No, that's it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming out. So I don't want to waste your time. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care.
I like your video.
Thank you.
He likes the video.
They would only not want you to say that if they weren't on the up and up.
You said the right thing. Say whatever you want.
Yeah. Free speech. That's what I fight for, right? Free speech. Free speech.
You guys.
Take care. Hey, sir, how are you? So is there any updates on, because obviously I want to press charges for him
He wants Fahey
spitting in my face that I showed the sergeant here on camera. So what's going to happen with that?
So we went through the assault statute specifically, and there's nothing that specifically states that spitting on somebody is an assault unless it caused you physical pain.
So that's right there what you just heard, what I was talking about. They said that spitting on somebody is not assault because it doesn't cause physical pain. Well, what if spitting on somebody into their mouth and there's a transfer of a communicable disease, and that person gets sick and there's subsequent pain? Does it have to be pain in the present time at the time of the incident, or what if it comes later? I'm going to look that up. I just found that awkward.
The only thing that assault fits is physical pain. And that's under the exception of if you spit on an officer, then that is when bodily
If you
fluids.
spit on an officer, you're going to get arrested.
So he can spit on me in my face and in my mouth, and that's not against the law?
Circumstances, I'm saying it doesn't really fit the assault charge.
I think they're protecting Fahey here.
So what happened if I spit on you?
Well, then you would get arrested because I'm an officer. You can't spit on an officer because in the assault on an officer charge, bodily fluids are included.
So why do officers get special?
So there is no charge. You're telling me, as a sergeant of the Groton Police Department, you're telling me there is no charge for a grown man spitting in another grown man's
It
face.
doesn't fit assault.
Well, what does it fit? Isn't that your job to find out? What does it fit? Like
At
what
the most,
what
would
crime
fit
it
a
is?
breach of peace, but you're on his property. You interacted. You engaged the interaction. I mean,
So if it's a breach of peace, arrest him for a breach of peace.
well, that's the other issue that we're going down right now. Is you guys are also in violation of a breach of peace.
No.
As well as
I mean, take us
voyeurism.
both then. Take us both then. It's not voyeurism. It's not voyeurism to knock on somebody's door. That's not.
It is if
It's
you use
not.
a reasonable expectation of privacy.
Now, that right there, he was charged with voyeurism. And I need to look that up. That is a very, very strange charge, voyeurism in Connecticut. I'm going to look that up while we go through this.
And you invade on his curtilage.
No.
And you're recording.
You're wrong.
him.
But do it. Then I will gladly go take the ride. Arrest us both for a breach of peace.
Turn around for me.
Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. This is
Here,
ridiculous.
Reyes gets arrested.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
All that for you.
He didn't even do anything.
Then they arrest
He didn't even
camera.
do anything. He was just recording.
Yep.
I guess.
That's why you're getting arrested as well, because you're both reporting on his private property, initiating this, which caused a giant scene.
Because he spit in my face. Are you going to take him to jail?
We're going to deal with that after we deal with this.
Yeah, I don't care, man. This is ridiculous.
What would you, obviously we're going to bring these at your property. Do you want us to lock up your truck and obviously make sure so nobody steals it?
So in Connecticut, I'm just doing a quick Google search here. Voyeurism, as defined by the Connecticut General Statutes 53A-189A, involves knowingly photographing, filming, videotaping, or recording someone without their knowledge or consent under circumstances where they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. This can be motivated by malice or the intent to satisfy sexual desires. Now, is there a question? Is there a reasonable expectation of privacy by this officer with a person outside on his property? I don't know that there is. I mean, what's the difference if he was video recording Fahey from the street or if he walked 50 feet onto the grass? You can, with a lens, you could record somebody on the property. And in Connecticut, voyeurism is typically charged as a Class D felony, but it can be elevated to a Class C felony under certain circumstances. A Class D felony carries a penalty up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Again, this is just a quick Google search. But look it up yourself also. Then apparently that is a felony, but it could be a Class A misdemeanor also. So we need to take a look at that. I'm very curious about that. The breach of the peace is just a typical charge of disorderly conduct.
Well, yeah. Can I turn off can I turn it off? You're not going to turn it off. I'm not.
So these are, I'm making sure.
Listen. All right. Sorry. Can I turn off the truck?
How do you turn off?
No. If there's something on the inside.
If you can give me instructions, we can shut it off for you.
It's actually inside the truck from behind me.
Inside.
Right.
Do you have a genetic or
He's just going to set up a claim, most likely.
I'm not going to have you get back in the because now, obviously, with the investigations like this.
I'm not.
I don't think that you are, but it's how we operate. We don't let people into a car unless they know.
We're going to bring these with you so you have phones.
You're really arresting me?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Please click, like, share, and subscribe, and I really appreciate your time. Have a great day.